Hello everyone, welcome to this series on the lives and important works of famous writers. And in this video, we are going to discuss Kamala Das. Introduction. Kamala Das, 1934 to 2009, also known by her pen name Madhu Vikruti, was a prolific Indian English poet and a prominent Malayalam author. Her work, characterized by its candid exploration of female sexuality and the complexities of being an Indian woman, positioned her as a trailblazer in Indian literature. Born in Thrissur, Kerala, Das grew up in a literary family but felt neglected and unloved, experiences that deeply influenced her writing. Her poetry, memoirs, and short stories not only challenged the traditional roles assigned to women but also offered a raw and honest portrayal of her personal struggles. This video explores the life, work, and legacy of Kamala Das, highlighting her contributions to modern Indian literature. Early life and influences. Kamala Das was born on March 31, 1934 in Thrissur, Kerala, into a family with a rich literary heritage. Her mother, Nalapat Balamani Amma, was a renowned poet and her uncle, Nalapat Narayan Menon, was a prominent writer. Despite being surrounded by literary influences, Das often felt ignored and unloved, which fueled her desire to write. Her childhood experiences in Kolkata and her subsequent marriage at the age of 15 to an older relative, Madhav Das, provided the emotional and psychological material for much of her work. Her early marriage and the challenges of young motherhood further influenced her writing, particularly her memoir, My Story, 1976, where she openly discusses her emotional and sexual struggles. This memoir, considered a classic, shocked Indian society with its frankness and became a defining work of her career. Breaking with tradition. Kamala Das's style and content marked a significant departure from the romanticized ideas of love that were prevalent in the 19th century, especially for an Indian Hindu woman. She was known for her bold and unfiltered treatment of female sexuality, which she expressed without any sense of guilt. This approach not only empowered her writing but also made her an iconoclast in the eyes of Indian society. In her poem Introduction, Das writes, "I am sinner, I am saint, I am the beloved and the betrayed." These lines encapsulate her defiance of societal expectations and her embrace of her own identity regardless of the labels imposed upon her. The confessional poet. Kamala Das is often categorized as a confessional poet, a label that places her alongside figures like Annie Sexton and Robert Lowell. Her work, much like theirs, is deeply personal and introspective, exploring themes of love, loss, and identity. Das herself once remarked, "Poetry does not sell in this country." Yet, her work resonated deeply with readers, particularly women, who saw their own struggles reflected in her poetry. In 2009, The Times called her the mother of modern English Indian poetry. Her poetry collections, including Summer in Calcutta 1965, The Descendants 1967, and The Old Playhouse and Other Poems 1973, was celebrated for their exploration of female autonomy and desire. In The Looking Glass, she urges women to embrace their sexuality. "Give to him what makes you woman, the scent of long hair, the musk of sweet between the breasts, the warm shock of menstrual blood." This unapologetic celebration of female sexuality was revolutionary in a society that often silenced such expressions. A voice of female empowerment. Das's poetry is marked by a strong sense of female empowerment, often portraying the female protagonist as an intelligent, self-aware, and confident individual. Her work explores the struggle of power and autonomy, themes that are vividly illustrated in her poem The Old Playhouse, where she writes about the suffocating nature of a loveless marriage. You planned to tame a swallow, to hold her in the long summer of your love, so that she would forget not the raw seasons alone and the homes left behind, but also her nature, the urge to fly. This metaphor of swallow being tamed speaks to the broader theme of women's oppression and their yearning for freedom. Major works. Kamala Das's body of work is extensive and spans various genres, including poetry, fiction, and autobiography. Some of her most notable works include poetry collections The Sirens 1964, Summer in Calcutta 1965, The Descendants 1967, The Old Playhouse and Other Poems 1973, The Stranger Time 1977, Collected Poems 1984, The Anomaly Poems 1985, Only the Soul Knows How to Sing 1997, My Mother at 66 1999, Ya Allah 2001. Novels The Alphabet of Lust 1976, Short Stories A Doll for the Childhood Prostitute 1977, Padmavati, The Harlot and Other Stories 1992. Autobiography My Story 1976, originally written in Malayalam as Ante Katha. This autobiography is one of her most famous and controversial works. Awards and recognition. Kamala Das received numerous awards and honors throughout her career, reflecting her contribution to Indian literature. Sahitya Akademi Award 1985 for her collection Collected Poems. Asian World Prize for Literature 1985. Kent Award for English Writing from Asian Countries 1999. Vayalar Award 2001 for her literary contributions. Azhuthachan Puruskaram 2009, Kerala's highest literary honor. Muttathu Varki Award 2005 for her overall contributions to Malayalam literature. Nomination for the Nobel Prize in Literature 1984. Controversy and later life. As Das entered the latter years of her life, she continued to court controversy, most notably with her conversion to Islam in 1999 when she adopted the name Suraya Begum. This decision shocked many in her literary and social circles, as it seemed at odds with the fiercely independent identity she had cultivated throughout her life. Despite the controversy, she remained unapologetic, stating that her conversion was motivated by a deep personal connection to the religion. Legacy and influence. Kamala Das's work remains a powerful testament to the struggles and triumphs of women in a patriarchal society. Her honest and candid portrayal of female sexuality, her rejection of societal norms, and her exploration of identity have left an indelible mark on Indian literature. Her poems, stories, and memoirs continue to inspire and resonate with readers around the world. Kamala Das was not only a poet of love but also a poet of the body, a writer who celebrated the physical and emotional aspects of womanhood with an intensity and honesty that few had dared before her. Her legacy as a pioneering voice in Indian literature is secure, and her influence on subsequent generations of writers, particularly women, is profound. Conclusion. Kamala Das was a literary force who broke barriers and challenged societal norms through her fearless writing. Her work, characterized by its confessional tone and exploration of female sexuality paved the way for future generations of Indian writers. Das's poetry and prose remain a vital part of the Indian literary canon, offering a voice to those who had long been silenced. Through her writing, Kamala Das not only asserted her own identity but also redefined what it meant to be a woman in Indian society. So this was the discussion on the life and works of Kamala Das. We will meet in the next video and discuss some other author. Until then, goodbye and thank you.